Welcome to Module 8, When to Collect Payment. Now, this might seem obvious, but I'm going to walk you through some mistakes I made and what I have found to be best practices when it comes to collecting payment. So at this point, you know either what your hourly rate is, well, you know that anyway, or you know you're going to be charging flat fee. Great. Let's start with some important stuff. Payment schedules are essential for your project to run smoothly, and it's really important to be clear on this upfront with clients. Discuss it early and discuss it often. I used to shy away from money conversations and be kind of wishy-washy about when invoices were due, and now it is clear from the beginning what the policies are. This is when you'll be issued an invoice. This is when payment is due, and everything will keep moving smoothly if that is the case. It's going to be uncomfortable, but get comfortable with talking about money early and often. Don't be afraid of it. The more I was afraid of it, the worse my projects got. The more I stepped out in courage and just had the hard conversations with clients, the better and smoother projects went. So let's talk about a payment schedule and really high level. This is not super complicated, how it all works. If you are hourly, if you've decided your pricing model is going to be hourly, then what I recommend is a minimum number of hours to initiate the project and then send an invoice for each month's hours at the end of every month. So let's say you have a 20-hour minimum, you work through those 20 hours, you switch to hourly billing. At the end of the month, you gather up all your hours for the month, you put it in your fancy software, and you simply send an invoice and let them know that payment is due. Most clients are great about paying, but we all know life happens. Collecting payment can be tricky. So one policy I did have when I was doing strictly hourly was that invoices were due upon receipt. If 30 days went by and the invoice wasn't paid and it was time to issue a second time billing invoice, a second monthly invoice, then all work is paused until we can reconcile and get things figured out. It could be as simple as the client just forgot, or there could be a problem and you don't want to keep putting your time out there if that client for some reason is not going to pay you for it. So this was a really helpful policy. It was in my contract. It was very simple. It wasn't asking the moon of people. It was just letting them know, hey, every month you'll get an invoice for the time spent during the previous month. It's due upon receipt. If a second monthly invoice gets issued and there's still one outstanding, we're going to put your project on hold until we can have a conversation and reconcile everything. That has worked really well for me when it does come to an hourly model. Let's talk about flat fee now, because I think charging up front it's a tricky subject. Not everybody is comfortable with it, but I'm telling you, this has been a game changer for my business, and I'm really, really happy this is now how we operate. So we start a project, we send a proposal. Mrs. Jones, your flat fee for the project is going to be X. 50% is due to start the project, and then the 50% balance is due halfway through the design process. That's it. It's simple. Clients already know what their fee is going to be. We charge 50% to start. Halfway through our design process is when we present a concept design. So that's an appropriate time. We're already meeting. We collect the balance, and then the design fees are done. There's no other invoicing. There's no more asking for money, for time. It is all taken care of. This system has worked really well, and it takes a little courage and time to get comfortable with asking for that much up front. But I have had happier clients. Their expectations are met. They know what is coming. They're not worried about bills. I found that the more I tried to push off billing and would put it later in the project, the worse it got, because people were so, they'd already spent so much money on furnishings and everything that sending them one more invoice was almost like pushing them over the edge. I front load it and I move on with my life, and it has made things so much easier. Now, let's talk about purchasing though. The hourly and the flat fee thing have to do with design fees. When you are purchasing on behalf of a client, when you have sent them a proposal with items, with goods that you are procuring on their behalf, you need to request 100% payment up front. Full stop. Back in the day, I did start my career in 2005. I can remember the policy was 75% was due up front and then 25% was due 2 weeks before delivery. Now, I understand that. I get it. But you as a designer are not a bank. What if the client changes their mind? You are then stuck with all sorts of furniture you don't want because the client hasn't paid for it in full. Or even just collecting payment at that phase in the process where the clients are already feeling fatigued and outspent can be difficult. You are not a bank. It is not your job to figure out how the clients are going to pay for their goods. They're grown-ups. They can figure that out. And my policy is 100% is due to initiate any order. Again, it seems like a tough change. Everyone's like, whoa, what? Can you do that? Yes, and it works so much better. You don't go to a retailer and order something and say, I'm going to pay you 75% now, and I'll just give you the balance when it comes in. It doesn't work like that. You order, you pay. Boom. It's that simple. And I'm telling you, if this is something that has been weighing your business down or you've been nervous about, just send an invoice and let the clients know that 100% payment is due to initiate an order. My clients know that if they don't pay, I don't even put the purchase order in. And that has been a fabulous system, and it's kept my business financially stable. I have not been cash poor because I'm hoping to collect money from a client to pay an outstanding invoice from a vendor. So your homework for Module 8, download the Interior Design Payment Timeline Cheat Sheet. It's really simple. Keep it in your reference materials, and it'll help you have a visual to clearly explain to clients how your payment terms work, when things are due, and what it looks like. Having something to present to your clients is going to make it crystal clear to them. It gives you an easy way to talk about it, and everybody is happier when payments and money is simplified in an interior design project. Now, next module, we're going to talk about, should you put your rates, your prices on your website? I'll see you there.